The static was growing more and more, and before I knew it, I had my husband's belt in my hand. Would this work? No, I needed something tighter. I grabbed my favorite scarf and pulled it around my neck. I couldn't feel my hands anymore, and my body was going numb. As my vision blurred, everything went black. Growing up, I knew I always wanted to be a mother. I did not know when, and I did not know who would be the father, but I knew that one day I would have children. I always imagined that creating a family would bring me constant joy, and when I was 25, when I met and married the love of my life, my best friend, we were so excited to start a family together, and not that long after we had gotten married, my husband and I decided that we were ready to start our family. A couple of months later, I was expecting. It was the happiest day of our lives. I felt so excited and looked forward to the day when I could finally meet my baby and love them with all my heart. Every day, I would dream about our family and how amazing it would be to finally be a mother. During this time, my husband and I became so close and would spend days just speaking about how our baby will be like. Will they look like us? Will they have my husband's smile or mine? These moments were the happiest times of my life, but little did I know that this happiness wouldn't last. I was looking forward to the joy of being with this little child and watching them grow. However, things changed when I started to experience typical pregnancy symptoms, such as morning sickness, fatigue, and back pains. At first, everything seemed normal until I started having intense mood swings as well. It would get so bad that I would get sad a lot, and I would cry all the time. It was becoming a daily thing, but both my husband and I thought it was a normal part of pregnancy. However, month after month, it seemed like my intense breakdowns were not only going away, but actually getting worse. Some days, I'd be sobbing on the floor thinking about how I should not be a mother. What if the child hates me? What if I made a mistake? It wasn't until my husband and I attended a childbirth preparation class that I first learned about postpartum depression. I knew I was already starting to feel depressed, but I didn't want to believe that I could feel that way about our baby. So I pushed the thought to the back of my mind and hoped that it was just a phase, that I would be back to normal soon. In 2018, I gave birth to our beautiful baby girl. For the first day, I was happy, but the adrenaline soon went away. Whenever our daughter would cry and cry, nothing I did would make her happy. I was suddenly swallowed up with intense fear. Before I knew it, I went to a very dark place. I stopped feeling like myself. Sometimes, just to escape the feeling of being useless and to lessen the negative emotions, I would have my husband take care of our daughter while I stayed out of the way. These thoughts of not being good enough would swallow me up, and I would contemplate permanently staying away. I finally decided that I needed help and went to see my doctor about it. When she diagnosed me with postpartum depression, I felt like I had finally found the answer. My doctor wanted to work with me and make sure that I got better. But before I knew it, my insurance ended. I was no longer insured, and I could no longer get any help to get better. It felt like a rug had been taken out beneath me, and my moment of clarity squished into a state of despair. For the first time in my pregnancy, I felt truly alone with my demons and couldn't find a way out. Having depression was so hard, especially because I couldn't control my emotions and would often lash out at anyone that tried to help. My family didn't help either because they didn't understand why I was reacting this way and expected me to get over it, but I couldn't. I couldn't find a way out. I tried to explain how I was feeling to them, to make them understand that my symptoms could happen from pregnancy, but they didn't believe me. So because of my depression, I lost a lot of friends and family. They stopped contacting me, and in the end, I had no one but my husband left by my side. I stayed at home with my daughter while my husband goes to work, and everything would be fine. Sometimes I would be able to find joy in the little things like reading a book to her, teaching her words, and watching her dance to her favorite songs. But the joy would just disappear. I felt like an old TV with the antennas. You fight to keep a clear picture, but it just keeps going further and further into static. And then the whole screen is just all static. I don't know how I would do it, but I'd do my very best to keep it together until my husband came home. I'd ask him to watch her for a while I take a moment alone. My depression got so bad that my husband and I argued a lot. He didn't have a full understanding of what was happening to me. Because of this, I felt like I was being a burden to my husband and our daughter, which made my depression even worse. A lot of times, I would run away into our closet, trying to muffle my sobs. It became a place where I could be sad without it affecting anyone. But the closet started to become a dangerous place for me. I would let out all my emotions, and the negative feelings started to take over my mind, often leading me to question if I should just disappear completely. One day, when I was alone in the closet, my demons kept growing louder and louder, telling me how horrible of a mom I was, that I should take my own life for the sake of my daughter. They would be better off without me, and I believed them. The static was growing more and more, and before I knew it, I grabbed my husband's belt. I stared at it in my hands, thinking that I needed something tighter, so instead, I chose one of my favorite scarves and pulled it tight around my neck. I couldn't feel my hands anymore, and my body was going numb. Everything went black. Luckily, the scarf had loosened, and I passed out on the floor. I woke up to my husband standing over me, crying and yelling my name. I saw the hurt in his eyes, and how what I had done had broken him. It was the wake-up call I needed, and in that moment, I knew that I couldn't keep tolerating this. I couldn't let these thoughts overtake me because I had almost taken my life. I didn't want to die. I loved my husband, and I wanted to raise our daughter together. I finally got the courage to go to counseling. It was there that I was finally able to talk to a doctor about it. He diagnosed me with major depressive disorder, which was the result of not treating my postpartum when I should have. I finally am getting treatments. I am already so much happier, and I can finally enjoy the little things in life and spend time with my daughter without my depressive episodes. I am so lucky to have such a beautiful family, and I am enjoying what I have right here, right now. My loving husband and a beautiful daughter. I just want to say that you don't have to battle mental health alone. There are so many people available to help out there, and you don't have to go through this by yourself. I promise you will feel better, and if you're struggling with postpartum depression, just know that what you're feeling doesn't make you a horrible person. If your friends, family, or partner are having difficulty with how to help you, encourage them to do research, to try to understand why you are feeling this way. I promise that these negative feelings won't stay with you forever. Life will get easier.